Breaking news out of the NFL, JuJu Smith-Schuster has announced that he will be signing with the Chiefs. NFL Network reporting it is a one-year deal worth just under $11 million for him. The former Pro Bowl wideout was limited to just 6 games this past season, dealing with a shoulder injury there. Notable changes in the AFC West. Well, there has been quite a few of them over the past week. It all kicked off, though, however, with Russell Wilson heading to the Broncos. That is the biggest one by far. The Broncos also signing Randy Gregory as well. Let's welcome in our NFL insider, Jonathan Jones. JuJu to the Chiefs. What is your reaction to that, JJ?
Yeah, well, the Chiefs are loading up because they saw, as you just talked about, Amanda, everybody else around them, especially those other 3 AFC West teams getting so much better on defense. They said, okay, well, we lost Byron Pringle. We need to go ahead and make sure we grab JuJu Smith-Schuster. It's a guy that they had targeted last year as well before he decided to come back to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Baltimore Ravens were also in on that last year before JuJu decided to go back to Pittsburgh. But in JuJu, of course, you get that big slot receiver that JuJu has been, who, yeah, when he was given the reins there to be the number 1 guy post Antonio Brown, he never could quite take that over. And he battled injuries, as you noted, last year, but of course came back there in the playoffs. That was a bit of a surprise and really showed his grit and character. So now you get a guy who, I see the contract terms, 1 year, almost $11 million. I'm going to wait to see the actual structure of that because that could be a max of about $10.8 million, and the base may be much lower than that with some incentives just based off of the deal that he got last year, based off of his injury last year. But the Chiefs, again, loading up. They have Tyreek Hill, they have Travis Kelce, and now they have their third option and weapon there as a pass catcher in JuJu Smith-Schuster.
Just 6 games, had the shoulder injury. You said, look at the end of the season. We saw him very briefly, though. So if healthy, what sort of production can we expect from him?
Yeah, I mean, there's only one football to go around, right, in Kansas City. And so you have Patrick Mahomes, who very much wants to be an NFL MVP again. The way to do that is to throw the football around the yard and win football games. And so you have to do both of those. So the Kansas City Chiefs want to be a balanced offense, want to be able to run the football, but now you have another hungry wide receiver, not a guy that you drafted in the 4th or 5th round. This is a blue chip sort of player who, yeah, he hasn't played up to his abilities over the past couple of years, but he can go off when he is healthy. And again, JuJu is going to be able to eat in this offense, unlike where he was in Pittsburgh. Number 1, by virtue of the pass catchers that are also on this team with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. But number 2, you have a quarterback who's willing to throw the football down the field, who can hold the football for longer than 2.25 seconds from snap to throw. And so he's going to be in an offense and a system that he has frankly not been in before. He's going to be with a quarterback who has more arm talent, who's able to put the football in different places. He's going to be able to run more routes than he was able to. So this opens up a whole new world for JuJu Smith-Schuster and his game.
What about the Steelers in all of this, now losing JuJu Smith-Schuster? Look, he was only there for a couple games, though, but this is a hole to fill now.
Right, and they're going to need some help. They didn't have a ton of money to work with, but I think that they had prepared themselves for parting ways with him. They have Mitchell Trubisky now as their quarterback. He could be a bridge quarterback. He could be the franchise quarterback. But that will all be determined here. And so that's what Pittsburgh has to look forward to. But meanwhile, Amanda, on the Kansas City Chiefs, one quick thing about Tyreek Hill. We had mentioned him earlier. He's a guy who, there were some reports earlier this week that he was close to signing a long-term extension. He's in the final year of a 3-year, $54 million extension. That extension that supposedly was forthcoming in the neighborhood of $20 million per year. I don't know that that's actually as close as it had been reported a couple of days ago. It may have been close then, but ever since Devontae Adams just got paid about $28 million per year in new money based off his extension via the trade from Green Bay to Las Vegas, I'm being told that there's a little bit of a hang-up there in Kansas City. So, you can shoot the confetti and the fireworks in Kansas City if you want to about this third weapon, but there's that little matter of taking care of the cap and taking care of that extension with Tyreek Hill. So just hold tight on that and keep a close watch on it.
We will, and that is why we have you, Jonathan Jones. We appreciate it. Thanks for hopping on with us here for this breaking news. Again, JuJu Smith-Schuster now headed to the Chiefs. Taking a look at the odds to win the formidable AFC West right now, because it is stacked. The Chiefs are still there at the top now, with JuJu Smith-Schuster sitting at plus 130, followed by the Broncos, Chargers, and then the Raiders. Coming up next here on CBS Sports HQ, we'll talk about the fantasy impact. What does this mean? We'll talk to our fantasy experts next on JuJu Smith-Schuster siding with the Chiefs. Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.